Hi, let's welcome. We, at this first lecture, we need to discuss about why data structure and application of data structure. As you understand, data structure, these two words has a very important meaning. We are talking about data and we are talking about structure. When we talk about data, I take you to the next discussion. This particular discussion is most important in our entire learning of data structure. So talking from the next point is when we talk about data structure, look at data. Data means it leads to fact, figure, quantity. And if you look at whenever we say what is a data, data is nothing but fact, figure, quantity, but it does not convey anything. For example, you see here 150. 150 is a number and you can't say anything but what is 150. Rohim is a name, Dhaka is a name. But if I say Dhaka is the capital of Bangladesh, then it is conveying information, and then we can say that it is information because data is saying something. Every data needs some storage in the memory. And the third point is data is actually need to be organized in the memory. Why? Because you want to store data, you want to get the data back from the memory, so you have to have a very organized storage in the memory. So there are two reasons why. One, we talk about store the data efficiently. That means we want to store in very short time, very fast storage. So we store the data efficiently. And the second thing is whenever I am storing the data, I need to process that data also very cleverly. That means I also want to save space and save time. So data structure helps computing to efficiently store data and process cleverly. So remember these two words, efficiently when you are storing the data and cleverly when you are processing the data. So talking about data structure, it is the foundation of computer science. That means if you are very good in data structure, you are very good in different application development using different programming language. So you must develop a very strong feeling about data structure applications. Data structure, it provides efficient arrangement to store data in memory. For example, linked list, stack, queue, tree, graph. So you are actually creating an efficient arrangement to store the data. And each data structure defines how to store and manipulate data. So data structure has two things to define. One is how you are storing the data and how you are going to manipulate the data. That means if I talk about, for example, stack data structure has to define how you are storing data in the stack and also operation of on the data in the stack. So that talks about how to store and manipulate data. So let me take you to some example. You can see here different sorting, linked list. These are actually different nodes, they are connected. You have list like different items connected like parent child. You have a spanning tree, you have sorting, you have linked list. So different types of data structure has different applications. Now what are the data structure applications? You have a common data structure application is linked list. Linked list is the foundation. We call it linked list is the fundamental as it's simple, persistent, recursive data structure. I will show you how simply you can understand linked list. Linked lists are usually a basic data structure which is used to implement queue and stack. And web browser, you have many pages, so they are linked to each other. So linked list can be used to represent different applications. Talking about the next data structure is a stack. Stack is a very popular data structure. In the stack, what you're doing, you see you have a stack of books on the table. You have a stack of plates in the kitchen. So stack is widely used to reverse a word. For example, you give a word, you are storing that letter by letter in the stack like top to bottom and then take it out in the reverse order. We say reverse a word. An undo mechanism, for example, in text editor, what happens? You do some typing and then cut it and you can do undo. The undo operation actually is implemented using stack. Language processing very widely used because compiler syntax shape. This is based on a stack. Stack of plates, books, these are actually real life example. A garage that is only one car wide, wiring or removing bangles. You are putting bangles in your hand one after other and you take out. So which one you take out first, which one you put at last, you take out first. So that kind of data structure is stuck. We'll discuss in detail. Queue is another data structure very common in our life. You see everywhere we are now queuing. Like this example, you can see the car, they have queued in. There is one area where the cars are coming in. This is last in. And the other car which was at the first, which is first in, first out. So queue is a data structure where you have things coming from the rear and going out from the front. So it is first in, first out, last in, last out data structure. You have tree data structure, very common. It looks like parent-child relationship. And you see in our family we have tree, we have great-grandfather, father, child, this relationship. We can represent this kind of relationship in the world and also in the computing using tree data structure. Like this is an example of a tree. You have HTML, head and body, different structures. We can represent a HTML document using a tree structure. So this is an expression. You can see this expression. I put up a tree like this. These are leaf nodes. So what we say, A plus B, this operation, after that you are multiplying by C. So this operation comes at the top. Why? Because you have, this is actually one becomes your left, another becomes your right child, and this is actually, we will know how we form it in our discussion. This is another very important data structure called graph, and graph data structure actually is like friend. You have a Facebook. I know many of you and all of you are using Facebook. You have friends of the friends. You can build up a network and you can find how to go to in shortest path from one area to another area. For example, we can represent different cities, town using graph. So summary of this discussion is that data structure is a foundation. It is very important. It is very important to have your core competency in order to be successful. Application of data structure is diverse and it is heart of the computer science. I hope you enjoyed this first lecture and keep going.